So in July 2025, in the city of Ahmedabad, in the income tax appellate tribunal over there was a very high tension and the stake was very high. On the one side, there was income tax officer, and on the other side, there were the assessee who were the directors of the Sri Gayatri Kotak's Engineers Private Limited. And you would be asking, what was the stake that was involved? First, rupees 1.50 crores of the contingent liabilities, and the second, rupees 4.57 crores of the bogus purchases was involved in this whole case. And this wasn't just about the money, it was about the truth and the trust. And in the courtrooms, both can be very fragile. If you see, so income tax department ने क्या बोला? So income tax department ने बोला कि they have claimed expenses without the proof. Second, they have made purchases from the parties who never replied to our notices. And the third thing they said that they deducted the TDS. Yes, but TDS alone तो does not make a transaction genuine. या TDS काटा इसका मतलब transaction तो genuine नहीं हो जाता ना. And the main challenge over here for the assessee was that assessee had to prove that every rupee claim was backed by real transactions, real goods, and the real intent. And therefore, I am your host, C. Pratham Magajwala, and welcome to Income Tax Decoded. Let's dive in. So, in the part one, we would be see about the contingent liabilities and the rupees 1.50 crore question that was raised in it. So, in this, what happened? So, Income Tax Department started open firing and said rupees 1.50 crore. That's what they have called as contingent liabilities. But assassin ने contingent liabilities बताई है 1.50 crores की. But they asked, where is the evidence for the same? These are just entries in the books. ये तो सिर्फ book entries है. And कोई bills नहीं है, कोई invoices नहीं है, and कोई भी TDS का proof भी नहीं है. And therefore, provisions aren't expenses. Provision को expense थोड़ी होता है. They are just quite estimates. And again said, असेसी सीए जो असेसी का सीए था उनको पता था कि रश करने से कुछ मतलब नहीं है सो देयरफॉर ही न्यू दैट स्पीड लूजेस द प्रिसिजन इन द कोर्ट रूम्स एंड देयरफॉर ही स्लिड फॉरवर्ड अ फोल्डर थिक विद पेपर मतलब एक पूरा फोल्डर जो पेपर्स के भरा हुआ था वो उन्होंने फॉरवर्ड किया टू द रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट एंड दे सेड एंड पेज बाय पेज ही डिसमेंटल द सस्पेशन अबाउट द ऑडिट फीस गो डाउन ट्रेंड freight charges and interest payments and he linked each and everything with an invoice and each cross-linked to the TDS deduction मतलब हर एक चीज का इनवॉइस भी प्रेजेंट किया है हर एक चीज का TDS डिडक्शन हुआ था वो भी उन्होंने बताया एंड क्रॉस लिंकेज भी उसको करके दे दिया and therefore the ITAT the income tax appellate tribunal said that didn't just take his word and they sent it back to the assessing officer in a formal remand for doing a second investigation मतलब ये जो थी पूरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन उसको सेकंड बार के भाई ये जो एविडेंसेस आए हैं उसके हिसाब से और एक बार आप सेकेंडरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन करके आओ एंड देयरफॉर असेसिंग ऑफिसर वीक्स लेटर सबमिटेड द एओ's रिपोर्ट मतलब खुद का रिपोर्ट उन्होंने सबमिट किया एंड दे सेड द एक्सपेंसेस आर जेन्युइन देयर आर सर्टेन लायबिलिटीज एंड टीडीएस हैज बीन ड्यूली डिडक्टेड फॉर द सेम एंड देयरफॉर डिसीजन वाज टेकन इन आईटेड दैट कंटिंजेंट लायबिलिटी का जो एडिशन किया गया था उसे डिलीट किया जाए. Now if you move to the second part about the bogus purchases, this gets very interesting. मतलब bogus purchases वाला काम एकदम मतलब it's get complicated and it gets very interesting. So if we see, income tax department said we send notices to the suppliers under section 133 subsection 6, but we didn't got any replies, neither got any confirmations, and they even haven't filed their tax returns. And therefore, the income tax department said that these are the bogus purchases. Now असेसी ने क्या बोला सो असेसी डिडंट डिनाई द लैक ऑफ इनिशियल रिस्पांस उन्होंने ना नहीं बोला कि हमने इनिशियली रिस्पांस नहीं किया था बट नाउ इन द अपील had something they didn't before so they had the vendor confirmations and the ledger accounts present while appealing in the appellate tribunal. Now if we see, so income tax appellate tribunal not leave to it at words and they issued fresh notices to the suppliers themselves मतलब ITET ने fresh notices issue कर दी suppliers को and this time the vendors replied मतलब इस बार तो अब vendors का reply आया and documents arrived confirming the transactions invoices आ गए पेमेंट प्रूफ भी आ गए and डिलीवरी एक्नॉलेजमेंट्स जो भी थे वो भी उनको मिल गए and therefore income tax appellate tribunal said that the disallowance is based on the earlier silence मतलब पहले जो अपने proofs और evidences जो थे वो सामने लाए नहीं थे that why the disallowance was done and but the facts uncovered later proved the purchase was genuine मतलब facts uncover हुए उससे तो पता चल ही रहा है that the purchase was very genuine and therefore the bogus purchase addition was also deleted in this case. And if we see part 3 that why did the winner win? So assessee produced confirmation, CDS proofs and ledger entries and got the third parties to respond under section 133 subsection 6 जो income tax appellate tribunal ने जब notices भेजी उन्होंने पूरे के पूरे जो भी रिप्लाई थे वो कर दिए थे। एंड इनकम टैक्स अपीलेट ट्रिब्यूनल ऑनर्ड वेरीफाइड फैक्ट्स ओवर अर्लियर सस्पेशन। मतलब जो वेरीफाइड फैक्ट्स जो उनके सामने इनकम टैक्स अपीलेट ट्रिब्यूनल के सामने आए थे, उन्होंने वो प्रॉपर्ली ऑनर किया। एंड जो अर्लियर जो सस्पेशन था कि भाई यहाँ पे कुछ गड़बड़ हो सकती है, उसको पूरा का पूरा डिनाई कर दिया। एंड द केस was done in the favor of assessee. And for more such 10 lakh plus judgments and AI powered legal research, kindly visit counselwise.com. And for downloading the whole judgment and the whole order of this case that we have discussed, kindly click the link in the description box. Thank you.